Hello, everybody. Happy Friday to you. And I woke up this morning to a snowy Colorado morning that looks so magical. Oh my God, I love the way the landscape looks when it's all covered in snow. It's just very magical. Rocky Mountain morning. And the topic for today, because today is a master number day and it just has so much of that master number energy, I thought it would be perfect to clear the path to self-mastery, because I know you all have been thinking about New Year's resolution, setting up your life, your dreams for 2019. So since you are all setting up the internal space, your mindset for 2019, we may as well just use this session to clear whatever is keeping you from fulfilling that sense of self-mastery that is required to create more in your life. So let's take a moment and really be in that space to connect with our own heart. And bring all your attention and your awareness to your breathing and to your heart. And connect with our guides and angels. And now connect with the energy, space, and consciousness of the Ascended Masters, just to awaken the Master within yourself. And if you have a different connection to a higher power, bring that in, however you choose to connect to. Source energy, universal energy, God, Kuan Yin, Buddha, anything that feels right to you. And that again allows us to connect to our higher self, to the best in us. Because everything is always within you. All right, wonderful. So now I want you all to take a moment, think about what would you like to accomplish that would really give you a sense of joy. And we're going to break this down into different areas of your life so that you don't have to come up with one thing, because we all have targets or goals for relationship. We all have targets and goals for our health, mental, spiritual, emotional, physical health. And we all want abundance, financial abundance, a sense of fulfillment, which is also abundance, loving relationships, an abundance of loving, kind-hearted relationships that support you to be who you are, and so much more. So take a moment to really tune into what does self-mastery look like to you, right? So what would allow you to feel you can accomplish what you choose to accomplish, that you are able to make a choice on your own behalf and follow through that choice with action steps that are congruent in helping you to become the person you're here to be, and in helping you to create the services that you're here to create, or artistic work or create the company, create the life, the business, whatever that may be for you, bring all that up. That just would allow you to feel an incredible sense of fulfillment and self-mastery. What is getting in your way of self-mastery? And we all have a bad habit. I procrastinate. So I wonder what that is for you. And we're going to start just releasing the subconscious patterns that created those blocks. A big thing for many people on your path to self-mastery is self-doubt. So let's bring up whatever created the self-doubt. Maybe it's the projections and judgments from other people. Maybe it's never really receiving that sense of validation that you require. Maybe it's that you are a perfectionist, or that you look at failures more than you look at success. So whatever it is that created this sense of self-doubt rather than the confidence that self-mastery is possible for you, let's release all that. Yeah, I procrastinate also. It's huge. Yeah. So let's see, whatever is behind all the procrastinating. And when it comes to procrastination, some of the procrastination is sometimes that's not about us procrastinating, because anyone who says I'm procrastinating, I know that you're working as hard as you can be. So give yourself that. Give yourself the acknowledgement that you are totally working really, really hard. And just because we're not functioning like machines, accomplishing one thing after another, doesn't mean that we're procrastinating, because sometimes you need rest and restoration. Sometimes you need to take your mind off the project you've been procrastinating on. And oftentimes, we need to look into universal time, right? Because the universe also prepares us for certain things, but the time of birthing a certain project has its own energy. Everything has its own birth time, gestation time, birth time, growth time, and then goodbye time. So take a moment and acknowledge the universal timing of things before we judge ourselves for procrastination, right? Yeah. And I just want to share something I learned from the novelist Isabel Allende. She's one of my favorite novelists and such a fun person to listen to, because she's someone who writes from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. each day. And I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. No wonder she's such an accomplished novelist. Her writing schedule is from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. each day. I'm like, Isabel, oh my God, do you ever procrastinate? So someone asked her, do you ever procrastinate? What do you do? And she quoted another wise person who told her, no one procrastinates. We are creators by nature. No one procrastinates. We are creators by nature. We are not procrastinators. We are creators by nature. And sometimes, if we find ourselves unable to create, it's because the vessel of us needs to be replenished. Your soul, your spirit needs to be replenished. It's running on empty. So again, and I learned this from Isabel Allende, the novelist, who talked about this, and she said she got this from another wise woman who told her this, that we are creators by nature. There's no such thing as procrastination. But sometimes when the creating is on pause or slowing down, it's not because we're procrastinators, but because the vessel of us, our spirit, our heart, our being requires replenishment. So what are you doing to feed you, the spirit of you? And it's really easy to see how we judge ourselves, especially when we are working and playing in a model of the human being that's very limited, right? In this culture and in so many cultures across the globe, people are rewarded for what they're able to do per hour. Productivity as measured by the workplace, by the capitalist system or whatever system that says you are worth X amount of money per hour depending on your productivity. And that is such a horrible distortion of productivity, creativity, such a distortion of our worth as human beings, because we are a lot more than what we can create per hour. And what I learned from other very wealthy people, that damn, they don't even work. The wealthiest people have systems in place that just deliver them a hell lot of money. So buying into productivity is how much you do, how much you're worth per hour, that creates so much distortions in our sense of self-worth. So let's just delete all that. Delete all the unkindness, right? You can still work and if it inspires you to see how much you can create an hour, if that inspires you, that's okay. But I'm just deleting the belief behind that attaches your sense of self-worth to productivity. And your self-worth is way beyond that. So let's just release that whole field of distortions. Oh. And acknowledge the infinitely creative being that you are. Acknowledge the capable creator that you are. And acknowledge all the very generative things that you do each day that may not translate to money, but it's generative energy that creates and sustains life. And the activities that may be generative for you may be slowing down, taking a nap, taking time for a cup of tea, taking time to write, taking time to create, taking time to just have fun coloring a picture taking time to play, and what we call veg out. That vegging out is necessary to replenish. It's actually a generative activity, and that it generates energy for you so that it supports your life and well-being. And I don't think many of us are taught that it's okay to slow down, take time for you, replenish the vessel of you and your spirit so that you can accomplish your goals. We cannot accomplish what we want by just caffeinating our existence. And that's what a lot of people in this reality and across the globe, that's what they do to get more out of life. You start treating yourself and your body like a machine, putting in the oil of caffeinated drinks instead of choosing activities that nourish you, nurture you, and regenerate you. So what if the path to mastery, you already innately know, your body knows what feels good. Your body knows what's regenerative, nurturing, and loving and kind. It's when your mind imposes its own agenda on your body that you start having self-doubts about how much you need to do, accomplish. And let's take all that noise from the world about what accomplishment looks like and release all that. And that whole thing, start your day by accomplishing everything that's important before 11 a.m. Blah, 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 blah. So that you have your most important meetings, your most important this and that, everything done by 11 a.m. Like, dear God, please take your time to do what feels right instead of rushing through the day to check things off the to-do list. Because again, while so many people who are very accomplished say that's how they accomplish things, but that depends. That depends on whether you are just an extension of the greater productivity system, or are you really connected to being the natural creator that you already are. So if that system that successful CEOs use, if that's you and you're already successful, that's great. But that's just success in one arena of life that this whole reality seems to worship. But what if you are a creative being and you get your best work done at 11 p.m.? I think that should be okay. And it's not because you've been procrastinating for 12 hours, but because different energies work at different times of the day. So whatever that is already working for you, you just acknowledge that because you always know. And what you know doesn't have to mirror what other people do, because sometimes other people just reflexively duplicate the successful CEO when it's like the world needs more than the successful CEO. The world needs creative people, loving people, peaceful, kind people who operate from heart center, soul center, spirit center space, and not just from the egoic mind that says, I need to accomplish so much, make so much, be the CEO, live in a multi-million-dollar mansion, blah, blah, blah. That's all good. But we all have our own path to mastery. Your path to mastery, you already have, and you already know. You already have, you already know your own path to mastery when you just allow yourself to let go of all the noise from the world that says you need to do this, this, that, accomplish so much by 11 a.m., blah, blah, blah. Yeah, let go of all that noise. And the path to self-mastery is really clear. It's already in your own knowing, in your own heart, in your own being. So if you take the time to be with you, be with the natural creator that you are, you can create anything. It's when we impose all these outside noise, outside ideas on us that we start to feel like we don't measure up, you have self-doubt, you're not accomplishing X, Y, and Z like this young CEOs under 40, under 30, blah, blah, blah. No. How you accomplish what you choose to accomplish is perfect. So take a moment to acknowledge that about yourself, that you have the wisdom, the insights to carry out the necessary steps to achieving your own dreams. And so let's delete all the outside noise, all the judgments from other people, and all the judgments we internalize because we don't fit into a certain model of what being accomplished looks like, right? Oh. What if the only habit that you need to develop on your path to self-mastery is the habit of honoring your inner voice, your heart, your heart's own knowing, and your intuition? It's all the same. So what if that is the habit you need to put in place, is honoring you, honoring your body's wisdom. Your body always knows what's true for you, honoring your own rhythm. So what would it take for you to just really honor your own knowing, your own rhythm of life, your own rhythm of activities that actually nurtures, and helps you to regenerate you? And so the slower you go, the quicker you'll get there. Because when you slow down enough to really listen to you, you'll be able to hear the answers. And you won't just be taking action, taking needless action, which I did. I went to workshop with this person, with that person, with that person, by this coaching program, by that coaching program. And then sooner or later, I feel like these people are selling coaching programs because they're coaches, not because not because the programs work for everyone, but because that's just what coaches do. They sell coaching programs, and I don't have to buy into any of that anymore. What if the only coaching program you need to buy into is your own inner knowing, your own inner voice? So the coaching program you need is already within you. And what would it take for you to be able to really receive and perceive and have that working for you? So let's exponentialize that voice, that coaching program within you. So you don't need to buy into anything outside of you to be on the path to self-mastery. And that doesn't mean that you don't learn from other people, but you'll know what you need to learn from other people. What you need to learn, what you need to do will feel congruent, and it will be much easier to accomplish because it's not something you force on yourself from your mind, right? Yeah. So what would it take for you to have that, to have your own back, so you know what to listen to, and you know how to honor the voice within you, your own heart. And honor the creative spirit of you, because you always have more than enough of your own knowing, right? You always have what you need. Yeah, you always already have it. And isn't it something that the Buddha took? I think he took about 6 years meditating under a tree to let go of all the noise in the world, so that the voice within can be heard. And a wise person once said, when you listen to your own heart, when you trust yourself, then you totally know how to live. When you trust yourself, you totally know how to live. So that trust and going within, listening to your own heart, your path to self-mastery always comes from within. Trust yourself, no matter the noise outside of you, because there will always be people selling their products and services, and they will convince you that you can't be a success unless you have this coaching product, that coaching product, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not against any of that. Some of them you may need, but really only if they actually bring you closer to what your own heart is saying. Only if they really support your own inner knowing will that work for you, right? So your own heart always knows. And the path to mastery, you always have. The obstacles that we are going to clear is the outside noise, the self-doubt that's created by listening to too many voices outside of you. But when you tune within, you totally have it. The path to self-mastery, your own heart is the coach and the guiding system. So whatever nurtures, nourishes, and regenerates you is going to be very helpful and healing on your path to mastery, right? Because your path to self-mastery should not be forcing you to sacrifice your health, your relationships, and your well-being. So much of what's out there almost forces you to function like a human robot, and you drink all these energy drinks, these green drinks, this, and that to master your body. Oh my God. It's really a way of repressing the wisdom of your body. Your body is always communicating with you to let you know what is supporting you and your health and your energy and your well-being and what isn't. And to keep on taking energy drinks and caffeinating yourself, which I do too. I do a couple cups a day, but any more than that to like force all this business on yourself, that's masking the truth and the actual wisdom of your body. And when we mask or try to outdo what our body and our heart is telling us to do, we end up creating disease. And I hope I'm not just saying that to create more issues for you, right? Because I don't want to be saying something just so you would create more problems. But if you find yourself overriding the wisdom of your body, please step back and ask yourself why you would override the wisdom of your body and your own knowing. When you do that, what are you really listening to? If you ever choose to override your body and your own knowing, what outside of you are you giving so much power to that you would do that to yourself? And that's a good question to ask to identify the false masters you've been giving your power to, right? The false sense of success that this world kind of programs into you so that you become a compliant worker. Yeah, so what if you don't have to be compliant with anything outside of you if it doesn't support you? Say, I'm not going to be giving workshops in any Fortune 500 company soon, am I? So again, the path to self-mastery is pretty simple. We all have it. It's the voice of our heart, and it sounds too simple because what's true usually is. Simple does not mean that we don't complicate it with life itself. We can have very simple truths that really serve you, but sometimes we create all kinds of complications before we finally acknowledge the simple truth. Acting on the simple truth is not easy. Simple does not mean easy. Sometimes it's not easy at all to let go of all the distractions. to finally hear your own voice and support you, right? So all the outside distractions, let's release whatever those distractions may be, and all the false masters you've been giving your power and energy to, and all the ideas and beliefs and ideologies that actually create self-doubt instead of supporting you. Oh, release all that to the light now. And anywhere where we allow anything outside of us to impose their will on us, right? And sometimes it's whole entire systems. The whole entire corporate system imposes its will on anyone who wants to hold a job, right? So let's release all that now. Oh. And it's not your fault if you have false masters outside of you, because since the beginning of our schooling, we have been learning how to listen to authority figures outside of ourselves. So it's something that's been slowly programming us since kindergarten or preschool. So let's release all that. Oh. All the belief systems, ideologies that actually create a distance between you and your own knowing. Let's release all that. Oh. Right, because anytime something goes wrong with our bodies, we are taught go to the doctor, get a diagnosis, get a prescription. That's really, really going outside of yourself. And I'm not against that. If you feel called to go to a doctor, and when you go to a doctor, it doesn't mean that you give all your authority over to them. You have a choice of whether to act on their advice or not, right? So just bring in that energy of choice. No matter what the situation is, and no matter how many authority figures are around you, you still can honor the voice within and have a choice in every situation. So it's about having a choice and still be able to consult with other authority figures. So there's a difference between just going to a doctor, listening to them, acting on what they say, and going to a doctor from that space of you having a choice and you are consulting with them. They are consulting with you so that it's an information, you have a choice about whether to act on them or not, right? It's a very different dynamic. So what if everyone and everything is just a source for you to consult with, but not necessarily act on? You still get to have choice. So let that space, let the energy of you being the chooser, having a choice, let that energy expand. Oh, oh. And bring that energy into every relationship in your life, the energy of you being able to stay neutral so you can access the power within you to make your own choices in every situation. So let's expand that energy of choice. Really be able to honor your own knowing and choose from that space of honoring you. So, whatever you can acknowledge that you always know and you always have a clear path to self mastery. And anything and everything you have used to complicate that picture, let's release all those belief systems, all the ideologies, or the issues, or anyone and everyone that has complicated that path to self mastery. And everything you have used consciously, or even all the subconscious stuff that has been acting up to complicate that natural clarity everyone has on that path of self mastery, whatever those complications are, let's release all that, all the subconscious beliefs and behaviors that complicated that. Let's release all those complicated stuff. Oh my God, people. So yeah, so all the belief systems, all the subconscious issues that we have used to complicate that path to self mastery, let's release all that. And all the limiting beliefs and limiting ideas that we have carried within ourselves for generations and generations and generations back. Let's release all the intergenerational stuff that complicates the path to self mastery. So, all the hidden loyalties you have to family, to your parents, to a spouse, or the hidden loyalties you may have to your own children, even, and to belief systems, and to religious systems, and spiritual systems that really just complicate the path to self mastery. Let's release all those hidden loyalties that keep you small, that keep you from having a choice, right? Because having a choice is where your personal power is. So, all the hidden loyalties that take away personal choice. Boy, are we complicated people. Oh, let's do this in steps. All the hidden loyalties to our family, to our parents, to our spouse that keeps us from having a choice, allowing us to be on our path of self mastery. Let's release all that. Oh. And now all hidden loyalties to the other systems around us, whether it's to the capitalism, to communism, to God knows what, to the work ethic, the 9 to 5 work ethic that keeps us from having a choice, right? So all those work ethic issues that are imposed on us as if we're here to just function as robots from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Oh. And if you have a choice, would you still be doing 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, 50 to 52 weeks a year? Oh my God. Oh, yeah, the hidden loyalties to just being a functional member of a capitalistic system or a whatever system, productivity systems of all kinds around the world. Yeah, we're loyal to the systems that keep us functioning as just worker bees or worker ants in the system. Let's release all that. Oh, because your own path to self-mastery may require you to break out of those systems and do what you truly love that fulfills you. And that actually also is an invitation to everyone to create greater freedom and joy in the world, right? So, what is it that would allow you to create a greater and greater freedom in your own life and be an invitation for others to just create beyond this reality? So all the hidden loyalties to systems, to beliefs, and all the subconscious habits that were created so that we function as the worker bees or the worker ants in the system. Let's release all that. Oh. I won't be invited anytime soon to any Fortune 500 company to give a talk. Can you tell? And hidden loyalties to systems that keep you from being on your own path of mastery. Let's release all that. And yeah, let's really be occupying 100% that space of mastery within, that space filled with so much heart, so much of our own spirit, right? So if we really occupy that space within us, no one outside of us can have power over us. Yeah. So what would it take for all of us to really occupy that space within us that is filled with so much joy, infinite creativity, infinite potential, infinite power? Yeah, what will it take? And from that space, you are on the path of self mastery. So let that space just expand in every direction in time and space. Oh, yeah. And let all the judgments from others just drop. Let all the projections, judgments, and all those conclusions just drop. And let all the hidden agendas that other people around us may have, let all that just drop. As we expand, all those judgments no longer touch us, all the projections no longer touch us, all the hidden agendas no longer touch us in any way. Oh. And as you allow yourself to be in this space more and more each day, You will just become that. Well, you are that. Yeah. And every cell in your body, every space in every cell remembers this space. The space of you occupying your joy, your knowing, your deep wisdom, this space of you that is the infinite potential of your being, and this space of you that is the infinite divine intelligence of the universe seeking expression through you. Give space to that. Honor that space within you. And you are all such powerful, potent beings. Just feel that potency of the power of honoring that space within you. That space that allows infinite divine intelligence to work through you and for you and express itself as you. Oh my gosh, this is wonderful. Oh my goodness. Thank you, each and every one of you. And I wish you a really amazing and fulfilling 2019. Thank you for being here with me today. Oh, that expansive energy of all of you occupying that space within you. Oh, it's beautiful energy. Wow. And how can we just exponentialize that right now so that anyone and everyone in the world who chooses to access this will be able to access this with total ease? And let us be that 100th monkey effect if we choose. Oh, the 100th monkey effect, all you monkeys. All right. What if monkeying around like this allows us to create so much more for the whole world? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for monkeying around with me today like this. Thank you, everybody. Have a great 2019. And I will see you next week. And I'm going to repost this on my podcast. I now have a podcast on iTunes called Create Shifts with Wild Abandon. Because when we can connect like this and monkey around, we're creating huge shifts in the consciousness of this reality. We're creating that with wild abandon. Thank you. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great weekend.